Hello and welcome to St Michael's Hill for the December layout update. As you can see, trains are now running on both loops. Today having a bit of a passenger running session with the Bachmann Class 158 and the Hornby Class 153. Very happy with how everything's kind of working at the moment. There are a few areas that I've been working on since the last video with the loop, just to kind of improve the running. Still a few points in this area that need to be completely wired up, so they've got dead frogs at the moment, just causing a few things to run a little poorly across them, but the other end, as you can see by the 153 running through, is all completely working as it should. That's, to be honest, been most of the work that I've been doing this month, is working very hard trying to get all this running smoothly. It's going to be the most important thing really over the next kind of few months, is making sure that every kind of loop and every piece of track actually runs the way it should. As you can see, the Class 153 has stopped here. That's just because it's so long that it's from one frog to the next on the next points. If you put a loco through here, it would probably be absolutely fine, but yeah, it's a little frustrating, but it'll do it again over the... Okay, so it's managed to get through there okay. Yeah, just generally kind of finding out these things, obviously finishing up the wiring properly, making sure that everything runs to plan and is okay. The inner loop here, the branch loop, is also running, so let me just switch a few points around. There is a few, as you can see, there's a point motor there that's not yet been put in, so there's a few points that are still being manually operated. So as you can see, the inner loop, which will be the branch, is also running fairly okay. Everything should be fine, and at these points it's going to go straight on back onto what will be the main line. This video I'm going to obviously talk a little bit more about other projects that I've been working on this month, and also there's been a fair few additions to the fleet, although most of them are wagons, but I'll run through all of those as well and give you some more running shots from the layout. Apart from working hard on the layout this month, I've also been doing something else, which is building these trees. I'm going to have a fair few on the layout, just because I think there's something that's kind of underdone. If you look around the railway, there's always lots of trees around, so I want to kind of get a start on it. It's something that I could do inside. I don't want to be in the garage on a cold evening, and I've actually been really enjoying it. So whilst you can see there are 4 here in various different stages, I've probably modelled into various stages about 12 or 14. I start off with some wire. There is a couple of different types of wire here actually. There's the green florist wire, and then some other florist wire which is just kind of plain silver. This has been given a coat of liquid latex, so it's still very bendy, but there's kind of a little kind of wire feel to it, although it still looks kind of very wiry. It still needs a few more coats, to be honest, but after that I move on to the next stage, which is the bark. The bark is made up of PVA glue and grout, so it's just a grey grout that goes on, and it actually comes out this kind of brown colour, which was a bit of a surprise, but actually it's quite kind of fitting for the trees. So that goes on and cover kind of everything. It takes usually a couple of coats to get rid of some of the kind of wire kind of look, but kind of very pleased with how that goes together. The next stage, which I kind of haven't really got, is to add some seafoam to the branches using some super glue, and then as you can see in the last one, I add some kind of leaves and go from there. I have made the decision to model this layout in kind of a November time, so the trees are either going to be completely bare like this one. I will add sea foam to them, but probably not add leaves to all of them, or in a kind of very end of kind of leaf with a lot of the brown and kind of red colour that you can see on here. I then kind of finish them off with some kind of lighter dry brushing, which kind of makes them look a little bit more wintry, I think. The one on the right you can kind of see is fully finished, whereas the one on the left isn't. The reason I've kind of not done that on the one on the left is because I'll be getting some ivy and putting those on, which should add some kind of colour and kind of green, whilst kind of keeping the look. The leaves are actually real life leaves, so I've gone out to the garden, picked up some kind of dried out leaves and then blended them. That is kind of what's left and what I'm not using. This is the kind of sieved version which I'm using for leaves, and then there's some super fine stuff here which I'll probably end up putting on the ground around the trees to kind of represent the leaf fall. So like I said, I've probably done about 14 or 16 of these in total, to various stages. So I'll continue to work on those, and next month you should be able to see a lot more of them complete. Like I said at the beginning of the video, there's some new additions to the fleet this month. The first and only Loco is this one you see in front of me, a Hornby Class 60, 60007 in load haul livery. This is the third Class 60 that will be on the layout, and probably the final one after the triple grey load haul one and the EWS one. I got this as part of the deal when I sold my old layout, and basically very happy. I know what I'm getting with a Class 60 from Hornby, and in this livery it's perfect. 007 was often seen in the Newport area, so there's no need to change the number of it, although I might look into doing that, as I do like to have fairly unique locos. Whilst I've only added one loco to the fleet over the last month, there have been a fair few wagons. First up is these VGA wagons in Transrail livery. I picked these up online, actually from America. They've come over and arrived in perfect condition, so very pleased with that. These will be used as part of the Transrail Enterprise train that was running around those sorts of times, so be added with things like the wood wagon and some China clay stuff and things like that. They'll be used in a fairly mixed freight train. Very pleased with these. I think last month I picked up my first VGA wagon, and these are very nice as well. They need a lot of weathering, and these were generally in a pretty kind of well-used condition around the 90s. Whilst Transrail have rebranded them, they might have tidied them up a little bit, but there will be certainly some fairly heavy weathering to be done on these at some point. Next up this month, I've picked up another wagon for the steel rake. This one is a BDA in load haul livery. It's come with kind of stanchions to pop in, depending on what the load is, so I will add those at some point. Not a bad wagon, but certainly visibly more basic, let's say, than the Cavalex BBA and BLA steel wagons, but certainly a nice kind of addition to the fleet. Again, these would have been in a pretty beaten condition, so lots of weathering to be done on this for sure. The last new wagon that I got this month is a Bachmann limpet wagon. I got this for Christmas from my sister and her family. So again, it will be added to the Dutch rake that will be going around. They're building up a fair collection now of limpet wagons, so this will be part of that as well. So very nice addition to have, and very much looking forward to getting it kind of weathered up and running on the layout in the future. Over the next month, I'm going to be, like I said at the beginning of the video, testing the track, trying to find any faults either with the track or the rolling stock. Already today, running the dogfish wagons from Hellion. They're just very, very poor runners, mainly because of the coupling and it's drooped so much. So I'm going to look at things like that, trying to find out what wagons need to be adjusted, either maybe checking the back-to-backs or changing couplings and things like that. Certainly the Hellion dogfish will be the first thing that gets done. There's probably going to be bits of track that kind of need to be adjusted slightly or just filed back or leveled, things like that I found over the last few weeks even. It's a lot better now. As you can see, I've got pretty reliable running, but I want to make sure that it's pretty flawless. Away from the layout, I'm going to be doing more work on the trees. I'm really enjoying that, so I'll kind of carry on and hopefully get a few more to a finish date for next month. And also I'm going to be starting the project of renumbering, denaming and detailing this V-Trains Class 37. It's going to remain in engineer's livery, although I do need to kind of fade up down the paint quite a lot. V-Trains have always been kind of famous for having a very day glow yellow. As you can see, it looks very toy-like, so that needs to be faded, as does the grey. And then, I think I've mentioned it before, but I'll be replacing the fan grille covers, the glazing, and also a few other little bits on the Loco. So that's what I'll be doing, and hopefully there'll be some progress on that. Probably won't show you that until it's done, although the plan is to make a video of the whole process, so you might be waiting a few months for that, but hopefully come the end of it, it'll be a nice video for you to watch if that's something that you're interested in. Thanks very much for joining me today on St Michael's Hill. I hope you've enjoyed the update, and all that really is left for me to say is Happy New Year, and I hope to see you again this time next year. Hopefully you've enjoyed what you've seen on the layout over the 2021 period. Thanks very much, and I'll see you again very soon on St Michael's Hill. Bye bye.